Welcome back, gamers. I'm Siren of the Frag Dolls.
And I'm Shadosha the Fly Guy, and welcome back to the next level. We are here to talk about
Rekoil. And we are joined by Jason Bryce, who is the CEO of Plastic Piranha. Can I just say I'm glad that they left this for the last game of the day, because I am an FPS girl, and this has brought me a lot of happiness. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. New York been good to you so far?
I mean, look at the day. We got 80 degrees out on a Sunday in
That's
October
weird.
in New York.
I know.
mean, come on. How could you go wrong?
I don't know. And especially if you guys are at home and you're somewhere else within the U.S. It was rainy the first, 2.5 days. So now it's absolutely gorgeous outside. So I want to thank you so much for coming here, talking to us about Rekoil.
Yeah.
Again, a game that I'm super excited to be playing in the future. So let's sit down and talk about a little bit. Tell people who have never seen or heard about Rekoil, what is it?
Rekoil is like the ultimate killer be killed first-person shooter. I mean, you get knocked down, you just want to get right back up and, take somebody down as quickly as you possibly can. And the idea is to, just keep shooting, keep having fun, and it's based on a really competitive, balanced playing field. I mean, that's the idea behind Rekoil. There's no perks, there's no ranking, there's no leveling up. It's basically about you and your weapon and how good you are with that weapon. And to me, that's just like the ultimate. It's kind of inspired by the COD 4 Pro mod, and and they took a great game already and then took all the bells and whistles out and brought it right back down to just you and your weapon. And we wanted to do the same thing right out of the box with Rekoil. So
I like that. And you used a keyword that I love to hear, balance, because a lot of first-person shooters or third-person shooter games that I've played in the past, you always have, there's something about the game where it throws it off and somebody's always complaining if they're playing one type of faction or another.
Yep.
That it's, or even just the weapons together or the kill streaks or whatever it is. So it's good to hear that word balance.
Yeah, I mean, with all, basically Rekoil will come with, 10 or 11 maps at launch, and all 40 weapons, there's 40 weapons, and all of those 40 weapons will be available day one. So because of that, they all have to be balanced, and they have to be in a position where not one's going to dominate over the other. And
Correct.
so the focus has been on making them, work together. So if you're playing a sawed-off shotgun, you're not going to be dominated by the guy.
That's what I was going to say. That's my gun. Yep, sawed off with my gun.
Give me an AK. I want that AK.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean, and they all work. So it just depends on how you play. There's a pro and a con for every weapon, and it's kind of refreshing to see it come back down to just that. So I'm playing some of the people that are coming in right now, getting ready to do the warm-up for the finals, and hopefully I can knock some people down here, which would be fun.
Is that fair? Is that fair? So let's talk a little bit about mod tools. I know that they will be some in-game. Can you tell me about those?
Yeah, well, my background, I came from, that's how I got into video games, was by modding. And one day I came into my office and someone had, taken the Call of Duty Radiant and made our office building inside the game, essentially. And from that day on, I was just like, this is what I want to do. And then I started doing some modding for Battlefield and whatnot. And I released my first Battlefield map, and the next day, the guys from DICE wrote me an email, and they were like, we want to release this officially. And I was like, nothing could be better. And so I said, we got 4 or 5 more maps where that came from, and I ended up working with them for about 3 years.
Wow.
And it was really, really cool, and to be a part of that. But after that was over with, we decided to go ahead and start our own studio and basically build our own shooters. So that's, the mod tools.
It's like everybody's dream.
Well,
you're just living it. It's cool. It's cool.
It's just, it was being at the right place at the right time, and but because of that, the mod tools are really important to me. I want to have someone have the same opportunity that I had, essentially, and to see what kind of creativity can come out of it. I mean, the tendency nowadays is to not see those tools and not have them available. And I would argue that those are the things that help build the foundation of some of these bigger games. And the content that comes out of them and the creativity that comes out of them, essentially, there's just nothing better than that. So any game that I ever do from here on out, it's got to have mod tools for me. So that's a number one prerequisite. So
yeah, I definitely think it's kind of a standard tool to have there. I'm glad to see more companies doing that, especially for this game. The pace of it, the overall, I like what you already put in here, but I feel like this is a game that can really strive off of those capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, to see what people are going to come up with. I mean, there's some really, some of my old favorite maps, like from the COD days, were like, Alcatraz Island and stuff like that. I mean, if somebody comes up with something like that for Rekoil, it would be amazing. And the sky's the limit. I mean, I would hope, and my heart's heart, to see somebody come up with something it's even better than what we were able to do. You know,
That's
it's
cool.
Good shot there. He picked you up. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
well.
The communities
that didn't
are
look
always
good.
great for that too, because I know they'll be able to do that for you guys. Can you give me a little bit of the inspiration behind Rekoil?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we wanted to create a level playing field for people to come in and do something that, you know, was really straight ahead, just about you and your weapon. And, you know, the inspiration behind it, I mean, like I said earlier, was about, you know, the COD 4 Pro mode, you know, and also with COD 2 where you're just able to pick all your weapons from day one, and, you know, also blend in some of the elements from, like, you know, the early Counter-Strike days where you could, you know, really fire from your hip and be real effective and that type of thing. So it kind of draws on elements from a bunch of different shooters and that type of thing. And, you know, but, you know, it's really just wanted to create the balanced playing field, and it always comes back to that. I mean, that's really what Rekoil is all about. And, you know, the inspiration for it is to just create something that is just not too, you know, overwhelming, like, you know, having like dogs come up and bite you in the rear and stuff like that.
I was gonna say that is something that I honestly did find frustrating, trying to, you know, play the game type. I like to really master the art and craft of my gun, and my ability to shoot somebody. It's kind of not fair when there's a helicopter always in the way.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're running around the corner and you think you got someone in your sights and the helicopter takes you out from around the corner. I mean, don't get me wrong, those are great innovations and great things to have in a shooter and that type of thing. But, you know,
Taking it back to the basics, the skill.
Exactly. I mean, instead of it being, you know, a third-person situation, it becomes more of just the true first-person nature. And, you know, that's what inspired us to make this game, essentially.
So I know we do have a bit of a reveal, which we actually are showing you guys right now. Let's talk about the map that we're playing on.
Yeah, this is probably the smallest map in Recoil. It's called the prison map, essentially.
And nobody has seen this. This is new.
Nobody
this
has seen it. I mean, there might be a screenshot of here and there out there, but honestly, this is the first time that people have seen it in gameplay environment. And, you know, it should be perfect for this environment here, because it's, you know, the 6 people playing in a small self-contained situation, and the frag count should be high, you know, the fun should be there as well. So, you know, it's cool to see it actually, you know, it's cool to see it coming. It's you know, into this type of arena for this. So we'll do another warm-up here, I guess. We'll give them another.
So let's talk a little bit about the classes.
Yes.
I know, will you tell us maybe what one of your favorite classes are, and then maybe tell us about all of them?
Yeah, they're not so traditional in terms of, like, you know, you're not going to have a medic where you're going to be able to come up and heal somebody. It basically is about, you know, the thing that separates the classes are the weapons and whatnot. And it's kind of a nice way to keep every weapon categorized. So the Recon class, for example, is all SMGs, and there's 6 different SMGs in there to choose from. The Assault class as well has 6 weapons, and then you've got the LMG. The Heavy Gunner class is what we're calling it. That's all filled with, like, the SAW, the 249, the PKM, the L86, those types of things. You've got the Sniper class, which the M24, I'm a run and gun player, but in Recoil, I love the M24. The M24 is like my favorite weapon. And, you know, and then on top of that, you've got the Rocketeer, which essentially he walks around with an RPG, and that's all he's got, and he's slow as sin, you know. And, so if, you know, if you're going to break that thing out, you're going to pay dearly for it if you miss on your shots. And, you know, the other thing is the Shotgunner class, and that's got the sawed-off shotgun. It's got the M4. I mean, there's some really great weapons in there. It's the sawed-off, I think, is another one of my favorites that I love playing with. I mean, it's 2 bullets only, extremely powerful. You know, so if you miss your shot, you better find a place to reload behind cover, because you're going to be totally screwed. But the big difference is, you know, in the classes is merely the weapons, and then, you know, and it comes down to speed as well. So it's not your typical, you know, layout in terms of classes where this guy can do this thing on the battlefield, this guy has health packs and that type of thing. It's really just about, you know, the different weapons that you can get. So here's like you know, the
So what's your favorite class to play?
It depends on the map, actually. In a map like Prison, where it's really small, I prefer the Recon, like the CPW or the P90. The AK-47, as you see here, is really, really deadly. The QB is extremely insane. And, you know, I mean, it just depends really on the map. And that's the cool thing about what we've done. We've taken, you know, really small and some large environments as well, so to give everyone kind of the best of both worlds, you know, with the game. And Oh, hold on. There we go.
I like it. These guys don't even stand a chance against you right now.
So let's go ahead and we'll switch to the, we'll go back and switch to our shotgunner class essentially, and we'll take the sawed off and we'll go ahead and
oh yes, I want to see the sawed off because that's usually when I do pick any type of shotgun. I usually like to play.
Good night.
That distance too.
I love that gun. Now you see why I use it so much.
Well, the thing about it is that, you know, we're not going completely uber realistic because of it goes back to the balance thing again. With the sawed off, you're going to have a little bit of distance sit down. And so, you know, you're going to have a little bit of extra firepower behind it, a little bit of extra distance to keep it fun and realistic, essentially. I mean, well, fun and balanced, I should say, not so realistic. So, but it's, you know, every weapon really has their strong point. Like, there you go. And it's, you know, it's just really designed to keep you in the fight with everything. And it's, you know, that's a really, really powerful weapon. This sawed off. I mean, I absolutely love it. So. But yeah, it's, you know, pretty much any weapon that you pick up here is going to actually probably do the deed, and you know, you'll learn it as you go along. I mean, the cool thing about it is with the different weapons that are involved is that, you know, since there's no leveling or ranking or progression or things like that, the guy who has 2 hours to play a week versus the guy who plays 80 hours a week, I mean, they're both going to have the same tool set. You know, it's, you know, the guy with the 80 hours a week, he might you know, have you know, more skill, so to speak, and that type of thing. But he's, you know, he's not going to be, you know, overpowered because he's got a weapon that's basically been ranked up.
Based on like time or ranking, yeah.
Exactly.
I like
so,
that.
You know, it makes it kind of fair and balanced, and you know, it's extremely cool to. You know, to see it happen. Oh, that guy's going down. Nope, missed him.
So let's talk a little bit about competitive player, because I am a super competitive player when it comes to first-person shooters. I mean, what are you guys expecting to see? The game's not out yet, obviously, but what are you guys expecting to see from like a competitive scene?
Well, we, you know, we're designing the game with esports in mind as well. So right out of the bat, you've got, you know, a spectate mode, you know, so you're able to watch everyone when they're playing. You've got in here, you can see, where is it? We've got a direct Twitch TV login and integrated right into the game.
Sweet.
So all you do is log in with your username and your password, set your settings, and basically you're ready to go. And you know, and that's really, really, you know, a true focus. But you know, we think that because the game, you know, is in its balanced nature, we think it suits itself perfectly for a competition setup. You know, put in the first person and third person spectate along with the Twitch TV integration. You know, and the balanced playing fields, and not to mention even in the mod tools with different maps that people can make for competitive play as well. I mean, the sky's the limit, but really it comes down to just being, you know, that balanced and level playing field for everyone. And when you're playing an esport game, that's exactly what you want to do from day one, you know. So let's see here. This guy's nope, sit. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm you know, I think that working with the guys at like MLG, ESL, you know, CEVO, TWL is everybody that we possibly can. I mean, it starts from the ground up and getting really involved with those organizations and making them, you know, really, you know, feel like the game is going to work for them, and doing everything that we can to get, you know, big supporters in and get some really cool tournaments behind the game. And that's, you know.
Have you guys, can you talk about maybe a little bit, I know the game's not out. Have you guys done any betas yet? Are we in beta right now, or is beta coming out? What stages are you guys in?
We're literally about a week or two away from releasing an open beta. We'll go ahead and release it slowly and start with a control group, and then once everything is, you know, proves that it's working smoothly and everything else, I think that's when we'll go ahead and break away and let everybody, you know, in at it and have a really good time. So, you know, the idea is to you know, make sure that the play is smooth. I mean, anytime you introduce a couple thousand people into your game,
stress test.
Yeah, you're going to see some issues. So it's, you know, it's going to, we'll need a week or two to really iron that all out and make sure that everything's perfect. And then, you know, flood everybody with codes and that type of thing and really, really get that going. And, you know, and then the pre-order stuff will go from there and, you know, once that's all established. But the focus, again, is just on making, you know, you know, this most solid shooter and solid experience as we can for people right out of the gate. So, you know, we don't want to have any problems where people can't join online or anything like that. So, just going through and really organizing and making sure that the game is really tight before we put it out there. And that's sort of the idea behind doing a staggered release on the beta.
No, I like that. I like that. So what events have you guys done in the past? Because I know that I've seen you guys at PAX and some other events. Do you guys usually do like maybe tournaments for people that go to those events? What have you guys done there?
Yeah, we've been, going around and showing the game really since the inception of the game. I mean, it's we've done almost like the polar opposite of what most people do. We've been talking about the game, for quite a long time now, and it's really cool to be so close to the point where it's, going to be in people's hands and actually going to, work well for people. And for such a small team and a small budget to make this thing work and get it to where it's at right now. I mean, we're all just extremely excited and extremely pleased with the way that it's been going. So, it's a couple years of love in the making, essentially. But yeah, we've been at all the different events and really just trying to get the word out there for people and show them what we've been doing along the way. And and that's just kind of the way we've been doing it. So it's been a good learning experience for us and great to get out there and show people what we're up to. So.
I like this too. I like seeing where our players are. They're getting a little bit of a taste of Rekoil. I don't know of any of our contestants right now. We are in the top 6, the finals for the next level. We are playing right now on PCs powered by NVIDIA GeForce GTX. And of course, we got one female up there. I'm hoping that maybe she can beat out the boys, even though I got my money on the twins.
Well, if it holds form to yesterday, I mean, she did such a great job yesterday in the feed, and I was watching it from my hotel room. And that was really cool to see all that happening. And
still kind of mad I lost.
Maybe we get another gamer girl win on the shooter. That would be like the ultimate bragging rights.
That would be the actual ultimate bragging rights right there. Definitely. So I know we're going to have our players just do a few more minutes of warm-up. But what we're going to be doing next after that is they're going to be competing our top 6 finalists on Rekoil. And what we're going to be doing is 2 maps for 6 minutes each. And as those players play on, whoever has the highest score out of both of those maps will be crowned our winner. If there are any ties, then we'll be going on to a 3rd map. But I think we're going to be able to get a winner out of the 2.
I'm hoping to see some sawed-off shotgun action. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to get down there myself in a kind of tear face. Especially when we revealed this, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get down and just, oh yes. So I'm a little upset. I really love the sawed-off. Oh well, I'm hoping to see some high-flying action though.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jason. I want you guys to make sure, check out Rekoil. You guys can go online, rekoil.com, to get any information about the game. Do you guys have a Twitter as well?
Yeah, at Rekoil the game.
Oh, easy. Yeah, Rekoil the game.
Works really well.
Do you have one?
Breezy.
Can people follow you?
Yeah, I'm at Trailer Trash without an A in the trash. So
I used to call him Trailer Trish. I thought his name was Trailer Trish. I did.
Well, I started in a movie marketing background. I used to make movie trailers, so that's where the trailer part of it comes from. So there you
makes
go.
sense. Okay.
I love it. So stay forward for the coming weeks for Rekoil. Make sure you guys get into that beta because I will be playing it, and you guys can try to challenge me, and I'm probably going to get my gamer buddies all to move off of some other shooter games. Maybe my Counter-Strike buddies will come right over and play Rekoil with me.
Awesome.
And I'm going to make you too. Sound good?
Oh, you know it.
So we're going to throw it to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have the finals for Day 4, New York Comic Con, so do not go anywhere.